We're here at the Sundance Film Festival with the team from Who is Dayani Cristal. We have Gael Garcia Bernal, producer Lucas Ochoa, and director Marc. This movie really puts a face on the issue of illegal immigration, and I understand, Gael, that this subject is of deep interest to you. How did it first capture your attention?
I think it captures the attention because it's a very elemental and kind of basic, let's say, it's like the first narrative. You know, is in the film we mention it. This is the first story ever told. It's about a guy that wants to go back to see his wife again, and all the perils that he goes through with his friends. No, traveling back to see his family, and I think starting from there and then getting up to the stage where we're at right now, where it's common to say words like illegal immigration, where instead of undocumented migrant workers, you know, which is a much more true explanation of what it really is, but now it's become demonized, and not only that, it's become demonized for mainly electoral and kind of chauvinist purposes. So it's this is where our interests come from. I think it's because of the empathy that we can show to these characters, to these people, that we are all migrants as well. We all come from migrant families, and we will be migrant families, you know. So it's a story about us. It's a story about the world, and migration occurs everywhere, and it's becoming an important issue to talk about, because it is one of the big flaws of our so-called kind of modern system. It's still, migration is not considered into the normal kind of as a normal wheel of the machinery. You know, it's still demonized. It's still kind of, and we need to find a way to make this better so that their basic human rights are respected, and not only that, that we can value all the work and the amazing things that the migrants do.
As part of this film, you rode on top of a train without a train with many other travelers. Can you tell us about that experience and
That was great.
and how you filmed that?
We filmed it in the riskiest, smallest way. We literally waited behind a fruit stand in a small town as the train was passing through the town, and jumped on just like migrants have to do. Yeah, it was one of the most. There's two scenes in the film that are set on the train, and it was one of the most. What do you think? Sort of moving, personal experiences. It was part adventure, part solidarity with people.
It's really like
Yeah.
I mean, to add on to the cheesy metaphors
Yeah.
that it was like surfing the history of mankind, you know. It was like we were there, you know, in the most incredible story. I mean, I felt very scared, but once being on top, I thought of all the people I loved, and I thought of all the people that I've seen gone away as well, traveling, and members of my family as well, that, you know, they went to make it better in their future, and make a better future for them and for their families, you know, and so all these hopes are on top of the train.
Yeah, it's a very humbling feeling.
Exactly, and you're there with everyone, and everyone takes care of everybody, and it's incredible. It's a really fraternal experience.
Did people recognize you when you got on the train?
They always recognise. You should see what happens when Lucas gets on the roof of a train.
Yeah, it's true. I'm famous I'm very famous in Mexico. Sorry.
Now, you share a film buy credit with Marc on the movie. How did that come about?
It's because of many. I mean, we did together some short films that kind of may have been like the part of the investigation to be able to do this movie. We did some short films in the southern border. That's why perhaps when we were there, we felt so kind of not at ease, but, you know, we knew the people. You know, we knew the guys that were that help the people in the shelters. You know, people that help all the migrants, and even migrants that work in the clandestine route, you know, that we met again. No, we found them again, like in the river crossing and those things. Yeah. So it was this has been a collaborative project, and you know, there's a few words to describe what everyone does in a film, no, like the credits, and it's kind of, that's very established. But we wanted to perhaps give it a bit more of the spirit of collaboration and of doing this movie, and ultimately if we could reinvent or put more credits of what we would have, like many adjectives to describe everything we did, no? And in a very kind of, I don't know, like hopefully a very descriptive way of what we did.
Lucas, what do you hope people take away from this film?
I mean, speaking to what Gael was saying at the beginning of this, I think that the object in part of what we've done here is to try and move away from the rhetoric and move away from this as purely seen as a debate, because there are human stories which underpin this. And I think that we wanted to humanize it, we wanted to focus it on an individual to some extent, to allow people to do that, to allow them to empathize. And I think that hopefully people can keep in mind when that debate is taking place, or when people are talking about, for example, immigration, that there are real people with real motivations that are complex, that are just like all of us, and that it isn't either statistics or, you know, one side of an argument and another side of an argument, because it's very important to remember that all of these people that are sadly recovered from the desert, all of them had a story, had a reason that they were coming, had something that they wanted to do, and that more broadly that's something that's true the world over. And over the course of the film, I think that you begin to understand much more clearly the human motivations of the people that work at the morgue who do this incredible work. They're trying to find an identity for these people so that their family can get them back. And similarly, for the people who are making that journey on the train and everywhere else, you see them, you get to talk to them, you get to take part in that journey. And I think finally with the family, you know, they welcomed the family of the man who is at the center of this film. They were generous enough to welcome us into how they were feeling and their experience of what happened. And so this is also about the collaboration as well. It's a film that's been made by so many people, and lots of those people you see on the screen that we met on the road, they made the film with us too. And I think it's a very special and very unusual movie, and I'm very proud of it, I think.
Yeah, and also think about it, about expectations, a very specific one is to hope that the migrants that we worked with, not only in this film but also in the ones that the short films that we did before, get to see this film, and wherever they are in the United States, if they made it up here or they went back, or you know, wherever, or in Mexico, wherever they are, to see this movie and to feel empowered by that they're not alone, you know, and that it feels like you're on a very lonely journey, but definitely what we felt there is that there is a whole army of people that we think the same way as they do, you know. It's and for us it has been a privilege to be able to be close to that. I mean, it is a gift to us rather than us shedding light on it. I mean, it's something that for our lives is changed forever. I mean, we're very lucky in that sense.
Great. Thanks. I think you guys encapsulate that well.
Yeah, thank you.